our family interview project for video production.
And we're interviewing our grandma.
Okay. When and where were you born?
I was born November 26, 1940 in Lihue, Kauai. In Hawaii.
Very interesting. And how did your family come to live there?
Okay, my grandparents came from Japan, and my grandfather was promised a lot of money if he came to Hawaii to cut sugar cane and work in the pineapple fields. So they thought that they would just stay there for a couple of years, make a lot of money, and go back to Japan. But that didn't happen because they weren't paid very well. So they ended up living there for the rest of their lives. And my grandparents had 12 children in their family. One was my mom. And so that's how I was born there.
Did your grandparents like living in Hawaii, or would they rather live in
I think they like living in Hawaii. You know, there were a lot of, by the time I was born, because the family was so big, my grandparents were kind of old by the time I got to know them. And I was there only for 12 years because I moved to Los Angeles when I was 12. So I spent a lot of time with my grandfather. He never spoke English, but he and I spent a lot of time together. And he used to, in those days, they had to roll their own cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
So he and I would sit outside on the front porch, and then he'd give me a piece of paper. Of course, he'd fill the paper with the tobacco, and then he'd roll it up, twist the side. I do the same thing without the tobacco, and we would sit out there and smoke. I would smoke with him.
Wait, so how did you end up living in Los Angeles?
Well, my father decided to go back to college.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Woodbury College to become an accountant because he felt that there was no opportunity to have a good life in Hawaii. So he decided to go back to college, and we moved to Los Angeles in 1953. I was 12 years old. I was going to be 13. And he went to Woodbury College for 2 years. And we stayed there. We lived with my mom's brother in their house for a while. And we moved many times. We lived in various houses, but that's how we came to LA, because he wanted to go to college.
What was your earliest childhood memory?
Well, I remember, I think it was before I went to school, my neighbors and I would all play, because there was nothing there in Hawaii. We didn't have television.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have anything. So all there was to play outside all the time.
Yeah.
So we grew up climbing trees and stealing mangoes from the mango groves, stealing sugar cane from the sugar cane fields, stealing pineapple from the pineapple fields. And, you know, we grew up that way. We were just outdoors. We played jacks, marbles. Our garage was dirt, so we'd make holes and then try to get the marbles in the hole. And we played pickup sticks. And so, you know, we were always outside.
Wait, so did you live like more inland or like on like the coast? And
We lived up on a hill. We didn't live close to the ocean, but we always rode our bikes to go to the ocean. We went biking a lot and, you know, rode to go swimming in the ocean, but we lived up in a hill. The reason was because in Hawaii, they call them tsunamis now, but we used to have tidal waves all the time, and they would have to blow the siren. They would have the siren go off, and everybody had to run to Highland. And we were living on Highland, so everybody came to our house. So that's what I remember of Hawaii is the tidal waves
Yeah.
used to always come. And my grandfather, my mom told me once that my grandfather, he was drinking coffee in the morning, looking out the window, and then all the warning was going off, and he was looking out the window, and then he saw the big wave coming towards him. So yeah. As a matter of fact, where my grandparents lived, the tidal wave came and took away the whole all the homes.
Wow. Do they
So-
live near the ocean?
Yeah, they live near the ocean. So it's no longer there. It's kind of sad. I went back to, because I spent a lot of time with them. It's called Kealia, and they're not there anymore. The homes. It was called plantation homes. The people came from Japan to work there, and they were provided these homes. It was called plantation homes, and everybody lived there together. And I remember my grandfather, I used to watch him chop wood because, and now when I think about it, I wonder why or who built what they call in Japanese furo. It's a wooden bathtub, but it was not part of the house, it was outside the house. And then it was all cement, and they used to have this wooden bathtub in there. And my grandfather, on the outside, he would put wood underneath. It ended up underneath, but it's on the outside. On the outside, it's all dirt and everything. He put the wood, chopped wood, and then he burned the fire to heat up the water in the bathtub. And we used to take a bath there. Everybody took a bath together. My whole family took a bath together. And you wash yourself on the outside. You sit on a wooden bench, and you wash yourself, soap, and you wash yourself on the outside. And then everybody goes inside to soak in the bathtub. Those are really good memories.
Yeah.
Now when I think about it, I wonder who built that. No, really, I think about it now. I never, did they build it or who built that thing? Because it was really nice. Yeah.
Was it like a big bathtub?
Yeah. It's like this. It's really big. Because we all sat
That's like a lot
in
of
there.
water.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was good.
Okay. I know you kind of said this, but what games did you play when you were growing up?
We played jacks, pick up sticks, marbles. Those were the only games really.
Brayden, you can ask the next question too.
Okay. So what was school like for you as a child? And what were your best and worst subjects?
In our neighborhood, in a certain area, there's only one school for maybe Rockland, Roseville, Lincoln.
Oh wow.
If you take up all the areas, there was only one school. And so we had to ride the bus to school, and the bus driver was in our neighborhood, in our neighborhood with the homes. He would have the bus at his home so that he would come and pick us all up in the morning and take us to school. It was quite a distance. So everybody had their buses that would pick them up, take them to school, and then bring them home. And there were two buses. The elementary school, kindergarten to first, was the early bus, they called it. I don't remember what time it was. And then from 7th grade to 12th grade, there's another bus that went home later.
Yeah.
So, and then school was, we had to work in the cafeteria, take turns working in the cafeteria.
Really?
We-
Serve food and
Make food. So
Really?
yeah, we all had to take. Everybody had to take turns.
Wow.
Also, we had to clean the rooms.
What about like the young kids?
Yeah, we all have to. From a certain age, I don't know. It wasn't like real young, but I remember 5th and 6th grade. I was working in the cafeteria already, and then high school. Also, I remember you have to sweep and mop the floor after school.
What?
You
Like
had to.
everyone?
We had eraser, blackboard chalk. We had to clean the blackboard. We had to clap the erasers. We had to mop the floors before we left school. That's after school.
Everyone took
So there was
turns
like no
doing that?
janitors.
No, there's no janitors.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and part of our class, we had to pull the weeds in the grass. And there's like a big grass area, and then they'd line all the kids up, and we just keep going that way and pull all the weeds.
That seems kind of
And that was a
unfair.
class.
That was a class. It's called gardening. So we had to do all of that.
Wow.
Interesting, huh?
What high school did you go to?
Oh, see, well, I left Hawaii when I was 12, so after that I went to school in LA. So I went to Roosevelt High School in East LA.
Did they still make you do that in LA?
No,
Oh.
no such thing.
What
Only in Hawaii.
What college did you go to?
I went to UCLA for my bachelor's degree, and I went to USC for my teaching credential and my master's degree.
Oh, that's really cool.
And what were your best and worst subjects?
My best subjects actually was English, and my worst subject is like math. Very bad in math.
What did you teach when you were a teacher?
Okay, I was a business teacher, so I taught in high school. I taught in the high school that I graduated from, Roosevelt
Wow,
High.
that's cool.
They thought it was the greatest idea. I didn't think it was, but that's where I ended up. And I taught business English, shorthand, and typing. That was what we had at that time. And then I taught there for 3 years, and then I left to go to teach in it was called a junior college. Now it's called community
Yeah.
college. I taught at LA Valley College after that for a couple of years until I had children.
Mm-hmm.
Then I stopped teaching.
Did you like teaching at a community college or high school better?
Well, it ended up that I liked high school better. But I'll tell you something funny. When I started teaching high school, I walked in the classroom, and then I put my books down on the desk, and everybody started screaming at me like, "Don't do that, the teacher's gonna come pretty soon, the teacher's gonna come pretty soon." I said, "I am the teacher."
Were you really young and they thought that you were...
I was 20, let's see, I was 22 years when I started teaching.
Wow.
Wow.
So I used to, we had to go and chaperone dances at a high school, and the boys would ask me to dance,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, no, I can't dance with you. They, why? I said,
That's funny.
I'm the teacher. I mean,
That's funny.
you walk in the hallway, and it's like everybody thinks you're a student.
Wait, so what grade did you
That's
teach?
funny.
I taught my first semester. I taught seniors,
Oh yeah.
so they were like not that far away from my age,
Yeah,
you
like
know.
only like 3 years.
Yeah. And then a funny thing is, when I went back to I went to UCLA, and my friends and I started the Theta Kappa Phi sorority UCLA, and then they used to invite me back later, after I graduated, and so I'd go to the event, and I would see the kids from my high school class at the sorority dances.
What?
I know. It was so confusing back then because I guess it's because I was young, and I'd go to these sorority things, And then boys would come up to me and talk to me, and I'd say, I kind of know that person, but I don't know. I don't know if it was from my class that I was teaching, or somebody I'd met. I mean, like in college or something. It was.
That's funny.
I'm telling you, that was a very confusing time. But
Is the sorority like still like a thing?
the sorority's still going.
Wow.
Didn't mommy go there?
Yeah, your mother went to UCLA and was in the sorority, and so one of you have to go and be in the sorority.
I guess it's me
Sydney
now.
has to fulfill the.
It's what
destiny.
1959. So how many years is that? 1959. 60.
I guess I gotta go to UCLA now.
Yeah. 60 plus years is still going.
Oh yeah, you guys.
We were kind of bold. My friends and I were freshmen. We
Wow.
got together and started a sorority. What?
You told me
Yeah.
you you were like a spy in like the other sorority.
Yeah, there was another sorority. Okay, there was discrimination when I was going to school. Like we weren't around, Asians weren't allowed to join a white sorority. So that there was one Asian sorority already there, and I decided, heck, I'm joining it because there's nothing else. So I joined it, and then all these girls that we met through all of our classes, and then we decided to start a sorority. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm already like pledging this other sorority. It's okay. You just be the spy, write down everything they do, so that we'll know what to do. So I was a spy.
But you can get like inspiration from what to do with your sorority.
Right. So that we know how to run the sorority. Yeah. So then we started the sorority in our freshman year.
Wow.
Mhm.
Do you remember any fads from your youth?
Fads.
Like trends? Is that what
Yeah, I
fad
think.
means?
I like ratted hair or something. hoop skirts.
Did you participate in those trends?
Of course. Everybody did.
Big hair?
You rat your hair and it's comes out like this, really kind of like that. And I remember going to my prom, and we used to get these hoop skirts. It's wires. You wear it underneath your dress, and then you go and sit in the car. You get in the car, and my hoop skirt went up in the air like this because it's wire, right? It doesn't lay. I mean, you have to press it down and lay it down. But then when I got in, it just went up in my face like this. That's what happened. What else was in style? I don't know what was in style.
Or like the guys,
The guys?
like the guy hairstyle.
I don't
Was it
recall.
like side part and like down?
Like slick back?
Yeah. Oh yes.
No, I don't remember any. I don't remember hairstyles that wasn't like really popular. It was. We were all in clubs in high school.
Yeah.
Everybody was in a club, a social club.
What club are you in?
One that wasn't very popular. We started a club because everybody else was in a club.
Yeah.
So we started a club, and then the clubs would get together. Oh, I forgot what the name of the place is. Some recreation center. They would sponsor all these clubs, and you could have dances.
Oh, that's cool.
And then you would sell these little. It looks like business cards with your name of your club, and then for the dance.
Yeah.
You would try to sell it for the dance to get people to go. And so we used to have a lot of dances back then
Wow.
for social activities.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Can bring an ass.
Okay. What were your favorite songs and like music like genres?
Songs. Okay, who was popular then was Nat King Cole. I can't remember the name. We used to go to the Hollywood Bowl. There was another place there that I can't remember the name to go to concerts.
Oh.
Yeah, and so that's what kind of I remember. I can't remember the name of Johnny Mathis. He was like really popular, and so we used to have the certain TV program that featured kids dancing. Dick Clark used to be the host, I believe, and I used to watch it on TV. That's another thing. Hawaii, we did not have TV. We didn't have TV, so we had to just. I used to play records on the phonograph. No TV at all, and I moved to LA and TV. There was TV, so I started watching TV, and we used to watch that dancing thing every day. I used to come back.
Wait, so was that like, did like other places like on like the mainland like have?
Oh yeah, everybody had TV.
Except like Hawaii?
Hawaii didn't have TV. It's too far away. My dad's friend came to our house and said, "We're gonna see TV for the first time," and he put a pole way up in the and tied it to our house. And we all sat. We got dinner ready. We're sitting there, and we said, "Oh, we're gonna watch TV." Snow. That's all there was. I never saw TV. So until I moved to LA when I was 12. First got to watch TV.
Did you have any pets? If so, what kind and what were their names?
Okay, I had kind of a lot of dogs. Okay, in Hawaii I had a turtle.
Oh, really?
I used to
wow.
raise a turtle. I could
Like
still
a sea
picture
turtle?
it. No.
A sea turtle.
I used to raise it in a bowl.
Like a small one?
Yeah, like about like this. And I had a turtle, had
That's not
rocks
Oh, that's cool.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And I took in a
What?
cat that was.
Oh, what was the turtle's name?
I never gave a turtle a name.
He's called a turtle.
Yeah, hello turtle. I had a black cat that was all scroungy and ready to die. I took him in.
Did you find him on like the street or something?
Yeah,
Oh, that's sad.
I took him in. And you know, when we left Hawaii, my uncle decided to take the cat because I didn't want to just leave him there.
What was your cat's name?
No name. Blackie. He was a black cat. So my uncle took him home, and he told us that he as soon as he got home, that cat walked all the way back to our house, and it's like the next city over. I mean,
Oh my
he walked
God.
all the.
Wow.
He went back to our house.
That's sad.
He said it was really sad that the cat would not stay with him. He just kept going back to our house. I had a dog, and his name was Maisie. I did have a white dog that his name was Maisie. And I remember feeding him really good food that my mom used to make. You know, now you buy it in stores, but since we were living in Hawaii, my dad, after work, he'd come home and we'd go to the beach and fish. We'd always be fishing. He would love you. You would love him. Fishing. All the time, fishing. We'd take, like my mom would make a pot of stew or something. We'd take the pot and go eat on the beach. And I used to fish with my little pole. There fishes everywhere.
Yeah.
So my mom used to make this thing. It's a Japanese thing called tempura.
Yeah.
They call it maybe kamaboko now. Fish cakes. She used to make it, and it's so delicious. I used to feed it to Maisie.
Aww.
And my mom says, "You do not feed it to Maisie because it's like a lot of work making that, and the dog shouldn't eat that." But I remember giving it to Maisie. So those are the 3 pets I had. And then after we moved to LA, we had my brother, well, it was supposed to be his dog, but I nursed it. We called him Tricks.
Aw.
And we got him when he was a baby, and I used to sit out there with him. He used to cry because he had to stay in his doghouse at night alone. I used to go out there and
Sad.
sit with him and carry him around with me.
Aw, that's cute.
Yeah, his name was Trix, and then we had Suki,
I like that name.
a French poodle. And I'll tell you a funny story about that. I took my mom to the doctor in Long Beach, and then I said, I'll take Suki to the park across the street while we waited for her. So I was there, and this lady came up to me and said, "Oh, how cute! What's your dog's name?" And I said, "Suki." And she said, "Isn't Suki a Japanese name?" I said, "Yes." And then she says, "So, but isn't she a French poodle?"
Why does it matter?
So she said, "That's a Japanese name for French poodle." I go, yeah." That's my one funny story about Suki. Yeah,
I
Suki
like the
was
name
with us.
Suki.
Yeah, short for sukiyaki.
Brayden, how much time is it?
26 minutes.
Oh, well, that's a lot. Do
Oh,
you want to keep going? Or should
Yeah, let's just say like one question for like each section, like the other two sections. Okay, I can say one now.
Do we need it from each section? Or do you just...
Let's just okay, so have any recipes been passed down from you to like down to you from family members?
well, Japanese celebrate New Year's every year. It's a really big thing for Japanese, and we cook up a storm. And we do have recipes passed down. My mom used to do the sushi, and I never really learned how to make it. I am not a cook and don't wish to be or ever was.
I thought you used to cook when because mommy told us that you used to cook a lot.
I used to cook a lot, but now you would never know that I used to cook a lot. So, but yeah, we have recipes handed down, and we used to do a lot of that for New Year's.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a really big thing. I used to do shrimp tempura. And my mom had a neighbor that gave her 5 pounds of shrimp. I fried
Wow.
5 pounds of shrimp, and chicken. My mom had a special recipe. It was called Hanamalu chicken that she got from Hawaii. We used to make that all types of fried. I used to get up like at 3 o'clock in the morning to start cooking,
Oh my gosh.
because it was a lot of pounds of things, chicken and shrimp, and my dad made his own recipe with the sweet potato with a coating on it and deep fry. So we used to make that in honor of him. And my cousin used to bring all these different jellos. There was a specialty jellos, but
No one over there.
we had raw fish. We used to get a lot of raw fish, and I don't know, we cooked a lot of different Japanese dishes for New Year's. Cost a lot of money. Those days, $500. So now, I don't know, might be
A lot.
$1,000.
So what about the miso soup?
Yeah, that was handed down. Actually, with my mom, I think that, in Hawaii, I don't ever recall eating a lot of Japanese food. The reason was, I was born in 1940. The Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor in 1941. And from that point on, the Japanese in Hawaii had to burn everything that was Japanese. So my mom decided that we wouldn't eat any Japanese food. We wouldn't have anything Japanese. When I was born, I had all these Japanese dolls. I have pictures of Japanese dolls. And they have a lot of Japanese clothes. Everything had to be burned.
That's really sad.
We read a
So
book on
we
that.
have no, we just lost everything that was Japanese. And it's really weird because while we're living in Hawaii, there were a lot of Japanese there. And we didn't have anything, we didn't eat anything Japanese, we didn't do anything Japanese because of the war.
That's really sad.
I know, so we ate strictly American. It's just American food. Although Japanese, we ate rice, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We ate rice. We never ate sandwiches. We ate rice for every meal. And then, but when I moved to LA, it's the first time I ate like Japanese food. I went to a Japanese restaurant. We didn't have restaurants in Hawaii either when I was living there, so we never went out to eat. But first time I started eating Japanese food.
Wow.
So we kind of lost our heritage along the way there. It's sad, kind of,
Okay, last question. What was your proudest moment as a parent?
Whoa.
Alright, there's another good question too. I'll ask you.
Proudest moment as a parent, I guess, had to do with my daughter Trisha. Trisha was quite an athlete and very smart in school. I mean, she had to get straight A's. So, of course, she went to UCLA. She played high school basketball. She got her bachelor's at UCLA. Then she went to pharmacy school.
That's a
So those are all
big
proud.
accomplishment.
Proud.